合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんですよ。みんな、ブローケンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Excellent to hear. Excellent to hear. And man, here we are after an absolutely amazing Ring of Honor Supercard. Dare I say the best pay-per-view of the weekend. You could already go ahead and just log that into the books. This pay-per-view was fan-frickin-tastic, man, from beginning to end. And, you know, I didn't notice it until I saw, there was this picture people were posting on Twitter that had all of the matches, like, next to each other. And once you saw it laid out like that, this card was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really strong card that Tony put together. I mean, you had to expect that. I mean, he was going into Mania weekend doing a show, something that he didn't, it's not that he didn't want to do it, but he in the past had made it pretty clear that he didn't see a lot of value in doing it. But the problem is that that was a Ring of Honor staple to do a show Mania weekend. So I knew that you got to assume that Tony kind of went into this kind of being a little like, okay, well, like I really got to hit a home run here, and I think he did.
Oh, absolutely. I could not agree anymore. Ring of Honor Supercard came to us from Los Angeles, California. They had a great crowd here tonight. We started off with 0 Hour, with a guy I have never actually seen before, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. This guy was great, man. Him and Jeff Cobb freaking tore it down. Jeff Cobb's getting a nice return after his 9-month absence, you know, coming against Kenny Omega, and now he's up against Hot Sauce, huh?
Yeah, Tracy Williams, Ring of Honor guy. He was in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I know of him. I had just never seen him actually wrestle. I thought he did fantastic.
Gotcha.
Jeff Cobb, man, this crowd really likes Jeff Cobb. Is it something from, like, is this an NJPW thing, or was Jeff Cobb from Ring of Honor before? Do you know?
He's a former Ring of Honor television champion.
Okay.
So I mean, that could have been something.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, I thought that the crowd was really into him. I think that the crowd tonight was kind of not 50-50, but there were some times where I wish the crowd would have been a little bit more into it, but I think when they needed to be into it, they were. So that was good.
Yeah.
Pretty impressed with the amount of, New Japan guys getting wins tonight. I think that was really awesome too.
Nice. Let's go over to chat real quick. We got Coach Nick and the Coug in the chat with Lance Dominguez as well. Coug says Ring of Honor Media Scrum is coming on soon. I didn't know they were going to do the Ring of Honor ones. I can't wait to see Athena.
They always do the Ring of Honor ones.
Do they? Okay, I hadn't seen any of them actually. That's going to be nice. But this was a great match. Nigel McGuinness joined in on commentary here. I thought that was fantastic. Jeff Cobb wins via his big twisting slam. I'm not sure what he calls that thing, but you can just tell right away as soon as he hits it, it's like, oh, that's it, game over. 1, 2, 3. Great match. Very nice to see this guy Tracy Williams, the Hot Sauce. Like I said, I had never seen him before, so very impressed. Next up, we had Willie Mack versus Konosuke Takeshita. And man, you know how much I love Takeshita, and I am also a big fan of Willie Mack. This match kicked ass, man. I loved this.
Yeah, did you know who Takeshita was supposed to face at the pay-per-view?
No.
He was supposed to face Will Ospreay.
And what's with the supposed to?
Well, Will's hurt right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn! I didn't know Will was hurt.
he had to pull out of a few Japanese, like New Japan shows and a few other shows as well. I think he was supposed to wrestle another match in the States last week, and
Damn.
no, it was, oh, where was it? I'm trying to remember. I think he might have been supposed to take on Moxley yesterday. Actually, it could have been that. I don't know. No, that was something else. No, he was definitely booked though for a show in the States, and he wasn't able to do it because he's hurt.
Damn, that sucked. Do we know what Osprey's injury is? Can't believe I didn't hear about this.
I do not know exactly what it is.
No worries. I'll look it up. But Willie Mack versus Konosuke was freaking awesome. Willie Mack and Konosuke hitting back-to-back Stone Cold Stunners was freaking awesome. I absolutely loved that spot. Takeshita, you know, Willie Mack's a big boy, so when he tried to pick him up for that blue thunder bomb, he had to struggle a little bit, but he did get him up with the freaking awesome blue thunder bomb to Willie Mack there, but did not get the pin. He wound up hitting him with his big time knee strike with Willie Mack on his knees to pick up the 1, 2, 3. Great match by Takeshita here. There's nothing more I can say other than, you know, how much I love this guy. Takeshita is absolutely incredible. He is, in my opinion, he is one of the future of professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Whether it's going to be an AEW, Ring of Honor, or both, this dude is going to be at the top for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a star.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we had a little bit of a video package for Athena and Yuka Sakazaki. Pretty decent promo with Athena speaking some Japanese there. I like that. Next up, we had the Lucha Baddie Miranda Alize versus Willow Nightingale in a great match. I had, you know, again, admittedly never seen the Lucha Baddie here, Miranda Alize. Has she ever been on Dark? I feel like I recognize the name.
She hasn't been on Dark, but I think she wrestled at a previous Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Okay.
What was it? It wasn't Supercard of Honor. It was the one after Supercard of Honor last year. I don't remember.
Okay, that makes sense then, because I recognize the name, but I just felt like I had never seen her before. But she was incredible. I absolutely loved this girl, the Lucha Baddie Miranda Alize. Willow, you know, what can you say? Everybody loves Willow. Her music, you just love to dance to her music coming down to the ring. The crowd just absolutely loves Willow. What I thought was crazy about this match is, you know, Alize looked great, but they were so behind Willow that no matter what this Lucha Baddie did, like they were just booing her or just silent for like everything she did. They were just like, nope, we want Willow to beat your ass. Like, which Willow eventually did do. She hits the big pounce and the doctor bomb and picks up the 1, 2, 3. What'd you think of this match? I thought this Miranda Alize, I thought that was a great showing by her, enough to put her on TV for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a really fun match. I mean, obviously, like you said, Willow is a star. She's a future world champion. I think definitely.
Oh, yeah.
She's got the it factor. People want to watch her wrestle. That's really awesome. Yeah, she's doing great. Real quick, wanted to mention because I don't think you mentioned it. But before the Willie Mack Konosuke Takeshita match, I realized it when I looked at my notes. So Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman are like, oh, we have
Yeah.
another member of the broadcast team who will be joining us tonight. And who is it but Nigel McGuinness, former Ring of Honor champion. He comes out. He is honor bound, you could say. I think this is awesome. And he's made it clear throughout the night. He kind of like didn't straight up say it, but kind of hinted here and there, like he's not just here to do announcing or commentating.
Yeah, at first I thought he was just another announcer, you know, but throughout the night they definitely made it seem like he's wanting to get back in that ring.
Well, when he had left WWE a few months ago, people were like, "Oh, well, where's he going to go be an announcer?" And he's like, "I don't have to announce. Like that was something that I just wanted that like we just did." like I could still wrestle. Like it's not that I'm not able to wrestle or anything. So
All right, so let's see here. Next up, we had a video package for the ladder match later on. That evolved into a video package for Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe, and of course into Eddie versus Claudio. This was a great video package here, hyping up the pay-per-view, you know, getting some people to buy it, possibly.
mm-hmm.
And next up, my boy Slim J versus Stu Grayson. You know, I need to come up with a different set of words to describe matches I really like, but this match kicked ass. I love Slim J. This dude just reminds me of myself back in the 90s, thinking I could rap and thinking I was a cool white kid when, you know, probably the opposite. This was great, man. Obviously I love Stu Grayson. You know, I'm a huge Dark Order guy here, and seeing him back in AEW or Ring of Honor is just tremendous for me. I loved this match. Slim J hit a move that I don't think I've ever seen anybody do before. He, off the top rope, he did a spinning Shining Wizard. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that off the top ropes before. Incredible. But Stu Grayson's finisher, has this always been his finisher? That massive, like, skyscraper backbreaker that he did? That shit was disgusting. Absolutely loved it.
I think it's been his finisher.
Has it? Yeah, it more than likely is. I just haven't seen him in a long time outside of a tag team, and that shit was nasty. Picks up the 1, 2, 3 with a just devastating backbreaker, man. Like, oh. Great match. Absolutely loved 0 Hour. And, you know, for a moment there, 0 Hour kind of kept going into the pay-per-view. And everybody in the chat, we were all like, nobody say anything. We're getting a free show. And then about a couple minutes in, they figured it out and they cut us off, you know. But this was great. 0 Hour was fantastic. The chat room on YouTube seemed to freaking love 0 Hour. You know what I mean? Like, you can always kind of judge by the chat there, especially on Dark and Elevation and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I would
great.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, great 0 Hour.
Yeah. I would say that I really enjoyed the end of the Stu Grayson match when we get the Righteous returning to Ring of Honor.
Yes.
I think this is a really awesome creative or booking direction for the Dark Order. I think getting them into a feud like this on Ring of Honor television, I think it's exactly where you want them to be. I think it's really good for them, actually. I think you move them to Ring of Honor and you let them go at it with the Righteous, which there's, again, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's really a good idea, especially because you're going to want to separate the Dark Order from Hangman on Dynamite. So I thought that was really good. It's funny to me that the Righteous, they came back with their tails between their legs, the Wyatt Six whole thing, because they had actually went to the Fed. They didn't sign with them, but there was a lot of speculation that the two of them were going to be part of the Wyatt Six. But you know how that goes.
Dude, so when I saw them, my brain was like twisting itself in knots. I was like, aren't those the guys that went over to the Fed for the Wyatt thing? And we didn't even get to see them. Wyatt is now gone, not even promoted for Mania, and these dudes show up back at Ring of Honor. My fucking head almost exploded, dude. I was like, you saw what I typed into Discord. I was like, what the fuck?
Which, like, I like them, so I'm cool with it, but it's just it is very humorous that it's like they really did kind of come running back with their tail between their legs. I mean, that's really really bad.
I loved these guys. Remember that time we got to see them live when we were at one of the shows? Like, I love these dudes, and the white gear they have just looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stoked for their return, man.
Oh, definitely.
I almost said the thing. I was gonna say it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the Supercard of Honor main pay-per-view here. I think the first match here was an absolute perfect choice to start the pay-per-view with El Hijo del Vikingo versus Commander. And the reason I say that is you got to think about, like, how do you follow this match up? You know what I mean? And putting it on first, I think left the crowd with enough energy that I think everybody actually lived up to this match afterwards. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure if this is coming across that well, but you know how sometimes it's really hard to follow up an amazing match. I think every match after this one absolutely followed up and did great. But we started off with El Hijo del Vikingo versus Commander for the AAA World Championship. And this was amazing. People on Twitter were losing their minds. People were like, what am I watching? This is insane. Incredible. This may have been better than the match with Kenny. Maybe.
In my opinion, it is better than the match with Kenny.
There was a spot in this where Commander walked all the way across the ropes and still did a twisting moonsault to the outside. I've never seen anything like it.
Yep. So yeah, I thought this match was absolutely excellent. In my opinion, it was better than the Kenny match.
Yes.
I just thought that they flowed a little bit better. Maybe it was just the styles matched up a little bit more. I don't know what it was exactly. Maybe it was the fact that it was a pay-per-view, so they were going a little bit more above and beyond. I don't know, but I really enjoyed this match more than I did that one.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. When when the better these matches are, the less notes I really write. Don't have a lot for it. It was an excellent match. I love the traditions that are recognized, and I'm sure the Coug does as well. They come out, obviously it being Ring of Honor, you do the Code of Honor, which I always really love and appreciate that. But you have because it's for the AAA title. I can't remember if it was Coleman, if it was Caprice or Ian, but they were like, oh, now they're taking pictures, the two, the champion, the challenger, they're taking pictures before the match because that's a tradition in Mexico that they take pictures for the press to take their pictures together before the match. Little things like that I appreciate, especially if you're going to bring in, the AAA World Champion, Mega Champion, excuse me, and do stuff like that. I think you got to go for the authenticity, and it was really well done.
Oh, absolutely. And especially this was the first time the AAA Mega Championship's ever been defended in Ring of Honor. So, yeah, you got to go big for this one. We almost got ourselves a nice shout out. They tried to do the table spot that Kenny and Vikingo did on Dynamite, but the table didn't break. Still looked brutal as hell. Don't get me wrong on that one, but table didn't break. Sometimes it just doesn't want to give like that. Kind of makes it look even worse sometimes. This match, there's so many spots that I wanted to write down, but it was just another one of those things that if I look down to write something down, I'm gonna miss something, But it's incredible. The walk in the tightrope from corner to corner into a twisting moonsault. I don't know if I'll ever get over that. That was unreal. And I thought my favorite spot was going to be from Vikingo, not Commander. But here we are. You watching the scrum or something over there?
Oh, I'm just kind of looking up Twitter, trying to see what's going on.
Gotcha.
Trying to pick up and see if there's any news from the media scrum. I was looking at something about Rampage, though. Rampage looks pretty good this week. I'm going to have to probably...
Oh, yeah, Rampage definitely looks good. Can't wait to see the Juice versus Andretti match. It's going to be great.
I just think it's wild that AEW Tony Khan and Ring of Honor Tony Khan are in the midst of a booking war.
Dude, I would really like to see him do something funny and start feuding with himself on Twitter and dressing in a different shirt for it. It would be so good.
It's crazy because he's counter booking himself. He really is. And it's like when you have those really good chess players who they just sit down with a board of a chessboard and they just play themselves. I feel like that's what Tony's doing. He's like, all right, well now I'm gonna book Dynamite and Rampage, and he's like, well, let's see if I can top that with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's just Tony Khan's a madman. That's all I can say right now. He's a mad scientist.
I think it's gonna be wild next year when they do the Observer Awards Booker of the Year voting, and it's first place Tony Khan, second place
Tony Khan.
At that
it's gonna say first place AEW Tony Khan, second place ROH Tony Khan.
Hold on. So Anna J, what did she say? I want to see what this is real quick. Hold on.
I'll let you watch that here. So we do get an awesome crash and burn from Vikingo's 630 splash. Commander hits his finish, only gets a 2.999. But Vikingo does wind up hitting that 630 splash to pick up the 1-2-3. This match was insane. If there's any way you can watch it, like, I don't know, you got to see this. It was unfreaking real. And like the Coog says in chat, the Vikingo and Commander are still basically like teenagers in the ring right now. They haven't even hit their primes yet. This is going to be... We got some good years ahead of us in the wrestling world, man. We got Takeshita, Vikingo, Commander, Action Andretti. My God, man.
Yeah. I would recommend people check out Rampage. Anna Jay's promo was funny. It made me laugh.
Oh, okay. So that was a promo from Anna Jay?
Yeah, she's about to face Julia.
All right. Well, I hope her promo... Oh, never mind. I'll stop right there. Good luck, Julia.
Check it out. Just check it out. It was great. It was
I will. I'm going to watch all of Rampage after we're done here.
Oh, I'm going to go to bed probably.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
All right. Just incredible match. Like I said, you guys got to check that match out if you can. If you have any way of seeing it, some highlights, whatever, you got to see this match. It was unreal. Next up, we got the Embassy with Prince Nana versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. This was a good match. Actually, I wrote down so damn good. This trios match was really, really good. I didn't write down any spots or anything for this one because I just wanted to sit back and watch this match. Brian Cage is just... I feel like... what do I say? Like, he's the only other monster right now that I believe, you know, besides who would we got? We got Luchasaurus. You know, there's a couple of guys out there. Who's the guy in AEW that I'm always talking about as a monster? I'm drawing a blank.
Wardlow?
No.
There's a lot of monsters. I don't know why you're sitting here like, oh, he's the only one.
No, there's only one dude that's like believable as like an actual crazy scary monster right now. It'll come to me in a few minutes here, but
that's crazy.
But this match was amazing. I freaking, you know, I started the whole stop pinning Brian Cage movement, and we've stopped pinning Brian Cage, and he has actually been the one to pin just about everybody. And I love it. I love the Embassy. I really hope that he does not, you know, leave Ring of Honor / AEW, and I hope he resigns, man. I think they're finally utilizing him perfectly fine.
I believe they're resigning him. From what I understand, with via Fightful, he's wrapping up. So I was actually, I wasn't surprised based off the opponents because it was kind of like a thrown together trio.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that the Embassy won. Because I did think that they were going to wrap up Brian Cage here tonight. I thought this was going to be his last match. But it's not. So that's good. I mean, if he resigns, great. I don't think he's going to, though. I think he knows that, like, someone of his stature, I think either, you know, Hunter or Vince will sign him. So,
I've been waiting for them to grab him for years. He literally fits their mold. Like, it's like he was made for it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. He was actually the guy that back when I used to hope that like trades would happen, I was like, Brian Cage is the perfect guy to trade for somebody in the E. Trade me Brian Cage for Kevin Owens. But this was a great match. Obviously, Brian Cage hits the big, forget what he calls that thing, the X driver or whatever. Swolverine hits his big driver, finishes it off 1, 2, 3. I thought this was a good match, man. I actually thought it was a great match. And like I said, it was tough to follow up that Vikingo Commander match, and I thought they did it no problem. They followed that up perfectly fine.
So Shibata is the first one up at the media scrum, and he said that by winning the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, he is now one step closer to wrestling Bryan Danielson, which is what he wants to do.
Oh, shit. Well, it looks like...
Tony Khan greeted Shibata in true Japanese style. Very, very classy. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Shibata tells Will Washington that he's not under a long-term contract with AEW or Ring of Honor. Tony Khan says it's part of the relationship with New Japan.
Okay.
Triple H was staring at Trish Stratus's butt. Okay, at the Hall of Fame thing. That came across my timeline just now. What a fucking perv. Yeah, we can carry on. Nothing
All
really else.
right. Next up, we had the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Yuka Sakazaki versus Athena. This match was great. I love me some Athena. Always have, always will. She has been getting better and better and better every single week. I love this character she's got where she is just absolutely annihilating everyone she ran through on Ring of Honor TV. This match was amazing. I love Yuka Sakazaki. Athena basically threw her around, beat her up for quite a bit of the match. Yuka being the smaller one, kind of like Riho, does the whole, tries to fight back, doing a really nice job of fighting back against the bigger, stronger, definitely more aggressive Athena. Man, this I wrote down there was a spinning faceplant, and I don't know what to call that move, but like Yuka Sakazaki kind of like picked her up in the jaded type position and spun her around and winds up dropping Athena straight on her face, man. I thought that move looked incredible. Didn't know what to call it because the announcers, I don't think they knew what to call it either. They didn't help me out there at all. But Yuka only gets a 2 count. This leads to Athena just taking over again and hitting that big O face, that awesome stunner front flip off the top ropes, and she picks up the 1-2-3 in a absolutely fantastic Ring of Honor Women's Championship match.
So yeah, I agree. I thought this was an excellent match. I mean, it's got to be said. I think right now, Athena is the hottest woman in professional wrestling. She's just on a roll right now. She's just
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, like I know, people would argue probably Mercedes. She's obviously debuted and she's on fire right now, and you could argue Jamie Hayter as well. But I mean, you look at the work that Athena's done this year alone, consistently, on Dark and on Ring of Honor. Like it's not even like she's doing it on Dynamite, or anything like that. She's killing it. She's doing an absolute excellent job.
yeah, absolutely, 100% agree on that one. All right, next up we had Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Dude, I love me some redneck kung fu. Mark Briscoe might be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Just everything he does either makes me smile, makes me laugh. It's just he knows, he knows, and the redneck kung fu stuff is just it's hilarious. I absolutely love it. The big karate chop to the top of the head off the top rope, where Samoa Joe was kind of like woo, all dizzy from it. I love that spot. I was laughing so hard for that one. At one point, Mark went over to the corner and he did an imaginary tag. Dude, that got me, bro. I was like, oh my God, I never expected that. Not even close. I don't want to say I cried or anything, but I definitely teared up. You know what I mean? I almost had to do one of the old, I got to yawn and wipe a quick little tear away from the corner of the eye there. I thought that was freaking fantastic little touch. It looked like he was tagging Jay just for some kind of amped him up. It was done so well, so good.
Yeah, it was a really beautiful moment. I mean, well, more so sad moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was again a really great match. Excuse me, man. Thought it was a great match. I thought every match on this card was great, to be honest.
I know. I feel like a broken record.
Yeah, again, so like the hardest thing to talk about are when these really great pay-per-views happen, because you know me, like I'm really good with like the promos and taking notes about the promos and stuff. When the matches are really good, like obviously I'm taking note of the storytelling in the matches, but it's like, man, I'm just kind of sitting back and enjoying the matches. I don't have a lot for them. But yeah, I thought this was really great. I get that a lot of people wanted Mark to win. Because
I really think he should have too.
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna have to say this later as well. You got to remember that it's all about the chase. I understand that you want to do that. You want to do that quick booking decision. You want to do that react booking, and like sometimes you got to do that. Other times, for this, for example, I don't think it was needed. I think that number one, the moments that happened prior to this match and prior to the latter match were beautiful moments that did a great job of paying respect to, to Jay and gave Mark his moment, to celebrate his brother. Ring of Honor's television run, whatever you want to call it, on Honor Club, but this run of Ring of Honor has just started, and I don't see the need 4 or 5 weeks in to do this. Like again, like you want to have this chase, like give Mark the chase, because Mark makes it clear that the commentary puts it over in the sense that like he's not done. I think it was Ian that said it. Ian Riccaboni said it, where he was like, Jay chased the world championship because that was his goal, and you can see that Mark's goal is going to be this television championship. Give him a storyline. Let him work on this. Don't let him just win the bell and then like, all right, well, he's the champion now. What are you going to do with it? Like, no, let that chase build up. Let people. It's not just the destination; it's the journey along the way. So that's all I would say. I think that I understand. And if I had to choose between Mark winning and Eddie winning later, I would have chosen Mark. But again, I think that it was a sound booking decision that, in the long run, will work out.
Okay, I can see that. I just really wanted it tonight. Yeah. So Samoa Joe does he locks in the rear naked choke, chokes out Mark unconscious for the win. Ref calls the match. We got a nice shot. I feel bad saying it like that. We got a shot of Mark's daughter crying over, where the whole family was sitting. That was a rough moment there for a lot of us. They did this really well, making me think he was gonna win. Man, his whole family was there the entire time. The kids are yelling and screaming and all that stuff. But we'll see. I hope you're right. I hope we get a little bit of a chase going on. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia. Now, this will be the first time I say this was just a decent match. Tanahashi's, getting towards the end of his career here, and he's just putting on some decent matches at this point. And, I've seen him live. I thought it was great as well. But Daniel Garcia, man, he looked good in this. I think they were kind of focusing on him a little bit. Garcia worked over the knee pretty much most of the match, pulled a bunch of Jericho, walls of Jericho type moves on Tanahashi there. At one point, Daniel Garcia used Shinsuke Nakamura, his move and his taunt, his mannerism. That really got an eyebrow of mine to raise, because we haven't seen Shinsuke in a long time over in the Fed. So my eyebrow definitely went up on that one. But this was a great match. Eventually, Ace Tanahashi hits his high flying flow, big frog splash off the top rope, and he picks up the win with a decent match. This was just decent match to show off some NJPW talent here. I really thought we were going to get Jericho mixed into this because of Garcia. Tanahashi and Jericho have some history big time in New Japan. I thought maybe we were going to start something for Forbidden Door here, but no Jericho. Garcia just refuses the code of honor at the end, and he walks off, and that was that.
Yeah, I think it's the continuation of the story that they're telling right now, that they began telling, where you're going to see Garcia, I think, kind of be in a little bit of a rut. And he's going to be like, man, this sports entertaining stuff is just not working. I keep losing to professional wrestlers.
Yeah. And he was screaming, I'm a sports entertainer, to the crowd. Yeah. It's a good point right there. All right. Next up was the Reach for the Sky ladder match. We had Aussie Open. We had Top Flight. We had The Kingdom. We had Rush Endralistico, La Facción Ingobernables, and the Lucha Brothers, Penta and Fenix. Oh my fucking God, this match was incredible. Dude, I feel like I'm just going to keep repeating myself over and over here tonight, but holy shit, this match was unreal. I loved this match from beginning to almost end. You know, really, really devastating injury during this match here to Dante. Dante Martin, he got hit with a Mexican destroyer off of a ladder through a table that was stacked up on another table. And when he landed on the ground, he just twisted his ankle, and it kept twisting and wound up facing the opposite direction. I heard some people saying this was comparable to Joe Theismann. Not even close. This just looks like an ankle that was twisted around backwards. More of a Dak Prescott thing. Remember Dak Prescott's injury last year? Pretty much what that looked like. I'm glad they cut the camera away real quick, but I just happened to be looking right freaking at where his ankle was, and it really ruined the rest of the match for me, even though it was fire. You know what I mean? I'm just one of those that, like, I can't watch skateboarding injuries. Like, I can't watch other people get hurt. Really just like, you know what I mean? Especially when you know it was real. But excellent freaking match. Don't want to take anything away from this incredible match. My God, some of these guys were just putting it all out there. Like Matt Taven, holy shit, this dude, 3 or 4 spots, just putting it all out there. Split himself open. I think, who was it? Actually, the other guy in the Kingdom, he got split open too. Maria Kanellis' husband. What's his name? Mike Bennett. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got split open up on the ramp up top. This was just from beginning to end insane. And Roosh, oh my God, Roosh.
Yeah, this match was excellent. This was a very good ladder match. Probably, I feel like I say that a lot with these ladder matches in AEW, but this is one of the best ones I can remember seeing. And this was just, man, they really went for it on this one, and it was insane. I don't know if it's my match of the night. It's very close. Highly recommend going to watch this match. Like, you need to go watch this match. I mean, obviously, the Dante injury sucks, and just hoping that he gets back and ready to go as soon as possible, and gets healthy and stuff like that. Because you obviously don't want to see an injury like that. It really, really sucks. But the match itself was just absolutely phenomenal. And I wasn't surprised that the Lucha Brothers won, but I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think they were going to win.
See, that I keep seeing a lot of people say that. Everyone's like, oh wow, the Lucha Brothers won. And I was like, didn't we like establish that the moment that they were like, these are the first entrants? I thought from right from there, I was like, oh, Lucha Brothers are winning. Okay.
Well, I think that the reason that people looked at it that way, and maybe it's like, shame on us for thinking that way, but you look at the Lucha Brothers as, one of the top 4 AEW tag teams. You don't think that they're going to be put on Ring of Honor duty.
True. Okay.
But again, I don't think that's necessarily a correct way to think. So maybe the Lucha Brothers winning this match was for the best in terms of expectations.
Yeah. I would have been surprised if they didn't win, but still, this match was incredible. Like, this would have been my match of the night without the injury. Might still be, but
I honestly thought Top Flight was going to win this match. But I mean,
a lot of people were definitely picking Top Flight. They definitely were. And I got to say, I don't think the injury changed the finish at all. This definitely looked like that was what was supposed to happen for the finish, because Rey Fenix didn't even know what happened. Fenix went up there, he grabbed the belts, and he was celebrating. And he was trying to get Penta to celebrate with him, and Penta just kept shaking his head like, no, dude, I'm not celebrating. And I think Penta was crying. I'm not positive, but Penta looks like he was down on his knees and he was crying because he knew what had happened to Dante. It was noticeably, Penta was like devastated, and so was I. But amazing match. Absolutely fantastic. Lucha Brothers are your new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to the Lucha Bros. Dante, get better soon, man. Hope it wasn't Hope it wasn't as horrible as it did look on my end, but
So
we
a
shall see.
quick few little things about the media scrum. So Shibata will be at Ring of Honor tapings, well, AEW tapings this Wednesday. They're going to be doing, I guess it's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing the Ring of Honor tapings with Dynamite now. And I think this quote kind of implies that Rampage is going to start being live, where maybe they do the Elevation tapings with Rampage and the Ring of Honor tapings during Dynamite. I think that that would be an absolutely awesome idea. I would absolutely do that, where you film Ring of Honor with Dynamite. I think that that is a great call for them. So Shibata will be at AEW on Wednesday. Also, so next up was Athena. Athena confirmed to the media scrum that Trinity Fatu was backstage at Ring of Honor tonight. Athena says she would love to wrestle her.
Oh shit. So real quick, you know who else is gonna be on Dynamite on Wednesday?
Hmm.
Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, so he is.
Yes, so he is. All right. Next up. Okay, this may have been my match of the night because Katsuyori Shibata versus Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship was just pure wrestling heaven for me. Shibata, okay, I've only seen this guy perform like once or twice, where like I was actually watching the show he was performing on, not like going back and watching clips and stuff. Seeing this guy perform live in real time was so awesome. The spots where like when Yuta was chopping him, for instance, and he was just standing there like basically like Superman being chopped by someone. I love this. This dude, he might be my new favorite addition, to I was gonna say AEW, but this is Ring of Honor. This guy, I want to see more of him, and I am so freaking happy that Katsuyori Shibata winds up defeating Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. And holy shit, I can't wait to see the future here. This dude is incredible. I'm in. I am all in.
Yeah, so I thought Yuta held his own tonight, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that he did an excellent job as a heel. Really killed it. The crowd really got into it as well. And this is a killer match. Loved this match. Again, like obviously kudos to Yuta. And then again, you do the smart thing as a heel, where he denies the code of honor at the end. It's
Yep.
such an easy thing in Ring of Honor, but it's such an important part of it.
It is, and it adds such a story. It adds an element, like it's a built-in storyline. You know what I mean? Now you had mentioned something, I believe, to me a couple of days, maybe weeks ago, that Yuta was going to be heading to Japan for some matches. Were you the one that said that?
I think he had said he wanted to.
Okay. So think about it like this. He just faced Shibata, who is an absolute legend in Japan. This is going to make everybody in Japan want to have seen that match, who's a Shibata fan. Now they're going to know who Wheeler Yuta is, and now he's going to go over to New Japan and go have a couple of matches. This was genius if that's what's happening.
I think so. Jeff, I sent you a picture that came across on Twitter. If you could please share it with everyone, that would be great.
A picture from the old Twitter,
I messaged you on Discord.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, what a great picture.
Hang on. Oh, is that Buddy Matthews? That's even funnier once I actually figure it out.
Look how uncomfortable he looks. And then they're like, okay, Rhea needs to sit next to Dom because of the kayfabe, I guess. And I guess they're actually trying to keep some semblance of kayfabe.
Oh my god, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Look how upset he is. He's like, I can't believe this.
Oh man, he's like, I can't believe she asked me to come. That's what it looks like. It's like I should have stayed home.
Andrade and Malachi are there too.
Hold on, I gotta put this back on screen. Look at Buddy's face. Look at this face.
All right, let's get to the main event here. We have the Ring of Honor World Championship, Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston. This match was awesome. This was excellent. These guys really hate each other. You could feel it. You could absolutely feel it.
I felt like this whole match was a shoot fight, dude.
I
It
don't know
felt
how
like they
good
were
that
really
felt.
like not like for real, but it was like one of those like, are they really hitting each other here and there, you know? Like,
It's the same reason why I'm saying to bring CM Punk back, because it's like, look, man, even
Oh.
when you're doing scripted fighting, if you'd be okay with hitting someone, you're gonna make it look good.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, this
Oh.
is an absolutely awesome match, and Claudio ends up winning this match, and I know a lot of people were upset about this one as well. Again, more so than the last one. I really need people to understand that Eddie Kingston's character, the whole thing, like think about how the Jericho and Kingston feud started. What was it? It was Eddie just keep coming up short in the big moments.
Yep.
You can't win the big one. You keep losing. You have your personal demons that you're dealing with. You gotta let this type of thing cook. You gotta. Clearly AW is the kind of company, and Ring of Honor, by extension now, they're going to take their time with these stories. They're going to do it. They're going to have it so they're going to have that build up be to the point where when Eddie finally does it, which he will do it, people are going to cry. Because that's Eddie's story throughout his entire run under Tony Khan.
Yep.
Is winning, going for the world title. I think he did a promo. I don't know if it was definitely leading up to this match, but he had said something along the lines of I've put off starting a family until I win a world championship. He's like, I'm literally, my life is on hold until I can win a world championship.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said, it's all about the chase. And now with this match, they actually did that for us. At the end, Eddie gets on the mic, and Eddie's like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. He's like, Claudio, we are not done. You know what I mean? So right there, I was like, okay, Eddie's not done chasing this championship. I'm cool with that. With the other match where, we thought Mark should win, they didn't really do anything that was going to progress him still chasing it. But I still see exactly what you're saying. You know what I mean? But I like how in this one, Eddie said, I'm not done with you, Claudio. I'm going to beat your ass. And, I believe him. I actually do believe him. I think we're going to get 3 matches out of these guys. I think the next one is going to be some sort of a DQ or, a no contest. Like Eddie just goes ballistic and gets DQ'd by the ref, where they just throw the match out or something. But I hope I see that belt around Eddie Kingston's waist sometime in the future, because he definitely deserves it, man.
Honestly, I think that one day Eddie Kingston will defeat CM Punk for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
I mean, that's some future booking right there. Yeah, a lot of things need to happen for that to come true, but damn, that'd be sweet.
I'm not breaking it all down. I'm just gonna say that's what I think. Yeah. I think that's what the plan was before the brawl out, and I think that will still be the plan.
Oh, so you're thinking that Eddie was next on Punk's list or somewhere down the line?
I think that eventually the plan was going to be to turn Punk heel, and he was going to be the champion. He's going to be the champion again someday, I think.
And Eddie saving AEW from Punk?
Yeah, I mean, that's why they did the Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk storyline when they did it, and they you think back to that storyline, just how it was handled and what was said, and then how they do one match and they kind of just left it at that. It was very weird. I always kind of thought that that's where it comes in, but it's just my thoughts. My someone on Twitter riding around Chicago looking for CM Punk.
He's in LA, motherfuckers. All right, so this was an amazing freaking pay-per-view. I mean, good luck, NXT. You're gonna fucking need it to try to outdo that shit. That was incredible. That was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a while, since the last AEW pay-per-view, actually, to be honest. But I know you are getting exhausted here. Is there anything you want to go over before we head on out tonight?
No, it's generally it. It was a great pay-per-view. It's the second pay-per-view this month that Tony Khan killed. You know, he killed it.
Absolutely.
That was excellent. So yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I'm not positive I am doing this, but I am pretty sure I'm going to wake up early as fuck tomorrow morning and I'm going to record like a 10-minute Rampage review. I'm just going to be like, here's what happened on Rampage, and then we'll be done. That way we can at least have something out there for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys use us for the Rampage review. But until next time, you want to go ahead and close us out, sir?
Absolutely. Well, this has been. This is what episode is this? Is this
I wasn't, I don't do the we don't do the pay-per-views as episodes, just.
Wow. Well, this has been the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor review show. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button and subscribe on your way out. We'd really appreciate it. Go and check out our Dynamite review from this past Wednesday. Again, Jeff might be doing a Rampage review in the morning. I don't think I'll be on that, unfortunately. But Jeff will probably be doing it. And then yeah, other than that, we do the video game podcast, the Game Room podcast on usually Mondays. We talk about video games. I have a few ideas about this week's episode, but I'm not 100% done with it yet, so we'll have to wait and see what we come up with for that. But until next time, we will see you guys next time.
All right. And like he said, till next time, top guys out.